What did Judas say to Jesus about his cock?
Oh, wait, what did I say? That, like, oh, right, that, okay. Judas basically, like, well, first of all, like, Judas and Jesus had, like, a thing, you know? And, like, and they were like, oh, it was, like, so lovely, whatever, you know? And then Judas went off and fucking cheated on Jesus with, I guess, Mary Magdalene, who was his other friend. And then, like, Jesus was so hurt that he, I don't know. Anyway, it's a long story. But the point is that, like, Jesus had a fucking fat schlong, you know? It was enormous. And, like, him and Judas would always be, like, because, like, people were naked back then or something, I guess, you know? And Jesus, like, he was, like, a shower, you know? He was a real shower. He was the kind of guy, like, his cock was bigger soft than hard, you know? It was, like 3 feet long, soft, and then it would, like, contract, and, like, it would get really dense, because it was, like, so, I mean, it was, like, a fucking iron rod, you know? That's why, like, when they tell the story about, like, Moses, like, throwing down the rod and it turned into a snake, like, that was a prophecy about Jesus's fucking, just, like, massive dong. And, so basically, Judas was like, because Judas was like, Judas? Is that his name? Judas was always just, like, chasing the tail, you know, chasing girls. He was like, oh, this is so great. And he was like, Jesus, like, why don't you come out, like, to club with me and, like, we'll fucking, like, you know, we'll knock down some bitches. And Jesus was like, fucking, do not speak to be spoken to, and throw the stone, the first stone. And then he was like, just stroking his cock, you know what I mean? He was stroking Judas's cock. He was like, shh, quiet, Judas, shut the fuck up. And then Judas was like, Jesus, like, you have such a big fat dick, like, why don't you use it to slay pussy, you know what I mean? And Jesus was like, do not to violence, that you shall do to thyself, for you have a large cock in your mind, even if it pales to mine. And then he was just like, fucking, like, you know, there's that story, like, there's that blind guy, right? I forget who he was. It was like some blind guy, you know?
Simon?
And then,
no.
No, Simon was like, he had like the light vision, or maybe that was Paul, you know?
I have no fucking, I don't know.
Simon, I think, was blinded by the light of Jesus. He was like, oh, fuck, he's back, you know? Whereas there was some just blind dude on the road, and Jesus just came up to him and he was like, put your head down, son. And like, he fucking just whipped his cock out and he fucking smacked it across his face. It like, I mean, like, it like knocked teeth out of his mouth, you know what I mean? And he was like, I can see. And the first thing he saw was just fucking, just a spooge just like coming right at his eyes, you know? Or Jesus, really what he was like, open your eyes, my child. And he just jerked off in both of his eyes and he was like, I'm cured. That's like, you know, like the story of like, what's it called? Lazarus? Like they were like, oh, like Lazarus, he's dead. Like, oh, that sucks. And Jesus was like, dig up that fucking body. You know what I mean? He was like, dig it up. They dig it up and he just like, fucking, he just like took a fat shit right on his belly button. And then it like started like swirling around like a drain. It was like, and like went inside. And then it like was like opened up and there was this baby inside. And then Jesus took the baby and he was like, my child, my child. And then he like put it down next to him. And then he just like fucked Lazarus's face and then he woke up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.